Welcome once again to our tourism class. In our previous class, we were able to learn about the history of tourism. Today, we are going to be learning on the topic which says tourists and form of tourism. Today, we are going to be looking in detail at these topics, tourists and forms of tourism. These are the lesson objective that we have. First one talks about definition of terms that are related to tourists, and the next is forms of tourism. And the first on the list is ecotourism, talking about the ecological environment of man. Next one is the cultural tourism. It is another form of tourism. And the third lesson objective is religious tourism. This deals in detail about religious movement and activities. And we have also in our lesson objective business tourism, talking about meetings of business and trade. The next we have on our list is study tourism. If you have heard of edu abroad, travel abroad for studies, and this is what it entails. And the next one is the earth tourism. Earth tourism is also part of our lesson objective. On our next list, we have sports tourism, and this is also one of the forms of tourism we are going to be talking about. Now, yes, let's start by the definition of terms. Tourist. A tourist, as you know, is a person who travels from one place to another outside or within its environment, within its country, in which is familiar with, and stays there for at least 24 hours for different business purposes, leisure, relaxation, religious activity, and this is what we know as a tourist. The second term we are going to be talking about is excursionist. Excursionist is a person who temporarily visits a destination, and note the person stays there for less than 24 hours, unlike tourists who stays for more than 24 hours. And it is also for leisure, for business, and mostly not for migration or transit. And this is who an excursionist is. The next on our list, in definition of terms, is international visitor. And this is a person who visits another country, majorly the one who which is not familiar to, and he spent for less than 12 months in that country, and it is majorly not for working. Person's purpose or motive of traveling is not for occupational reasons. The next term we are looking at is domestic visitor. We know international and domestic are antonyms, and domestic visitor means that the person is traveling within his own country, and the person is not spending more than 12 months in that destination within his own country, and the purpose of movement is majorly not for work. And this visitation to this new destination has a time frame less than a year. The next on our list of definition of term is international tourist. As you all know that tourist is a person who move from one place to another from where he's familiar with, and this is on an international level, moving from a country to your country to another country which you are not familiar with, and you are spending at least a night there. And this is the definition of a tourist, international tourist. So the person is visiting a new country and spending at least a night in such a country. Now we have domestic tourist. A domestic tourist is someone who visits another place within his own country, and the person likewise is spending at least a night there. Note, the night means that you are spending more than 24 hours in the destination. It means that the new location, the tourist is spending at least 24 hours in that new destination. Now we're talking about excursionists. Excursionists, we have the international and the domestic. Excursionist means someone who is visiting for a day, going to visit a location and coming back. And on international levels, it means that the person visits another country from his own country, and the person does not spend a night there. And in on domestic level, it means that the person visits another location in his own country and is not spending a night likewise there. Now we are going to forms of tourism. The first on our list is ecotourism. When we hear the word eco, it means ecological, and ecological deals with the environment. Ecotourists enjoys traveling, and they move from one destination to another destination for the purpose of tourism, and they are majorly deals with their environment. The next we have is cultural tourism. Cultural tourism is like a kind of tourism that entails passing of traditional knowledge, transmission of all these festivity and traditions into tourists visiting a new location. And these travels are to learn and experience culture of a tourist destination, and it becomes prime motivation to force people in traveling. The next one is religious tourism, and in this religious tourism, the main purpose, the main drive is faith. Faith becomes the major drive for people to visit their destination, which tends to be a relic, or which tends to be a place where it symbolize their origin of their religion. And Muslim visit Mecca, Christian visit Jerusalem. Also, the next on our list is business tourism. Business tourism, as it entails, deals with businessmen and women traveling for the purpose of transaction, trade, exhibition, meeting, conference, convention, and so many others. And this deals on business levels where business travelers receive high standard of service, and from this business travel they are mostly first class travelers. And also we have the study tourism. Students here, they study in other countries. Tends to be like a form of vacation to study. In modern world, it is known to be study abroad, and people from their own country seek for more knowledge in other countries so as to be enlightened the more. The next one we are looking at is health tourism. Health tourism, as we all know that all health services cannot be acquired in one's own country. This brings about the need to seek for help and health service or elsewhere, and the people who travel to seek health service in other countries, in other places, involved in what is known as health tourism. For example, someone who travel for surgery in India to India, so is known as an health tourist. The last on our list which we are going to be considering is sport tourism. Sports tourists travel for sport activities, participation, and also to act as a spectator. For example, people going to represent their country as spectator in World Cups, in Olympic Games, and also people going as participants. They are known to participate in what is known as sport tourism. Till our next class, see you. Stay calm. Thank you. Bye.